welcome back to Bit by Knit with me, Jenny. I'm here with you today in beautiful British Columbia on the west coast of Canada. So I have not really any finished objects to share with you guys today. I have one adjusted finished object, one blocked finished object. So those two I will briefly touch on. The one adjusted one I'm actually wearing, and I don't think I'll wear it this whole episode because it's a bit scritchy and uncomfortable, which we'll talk about more. I've got a bunch of works in progress, four, I believe, four, and I've got a ton of yarn to go over with you guys today. This is actually the second time I've done this recording. The first one was corrupted somehow. So we're here again, going through all of my acquisitions. I'm gonna go through them all again with you guys. Anyways, I hope you will enjoy. We'll start off with what I'm wearing, which is the it's the mini mock neck by Jessie May Designs. I made this back in the fall, I believe. It was fall time when I made this one. And I finished it. I blocked it and it was pretty cropped, which it is supposed to be, but too cropped for my taste. So I still had a good amount of yarn left over. So what I ended up doing was I unraveled the bind off, I unraveled the ribbing. I added 6 or 8 more centimeters in length, and then I redid the ribbing and the bind off. And even with the added length, it's still not pretty cropped, it's still a bit cropped, and it's a bit uncomfortable for me to wear because of that. I'm wearing it paired with a cardigan, as you can see, because then it will not reveal my stomach as I'm sitting here and talking with you guys, which I really don't want to do. So I don't know if it's a very practical shirt for me to wear because of that. I can't add any more length because I only have this much of the yarn left of it combined, because it was 2 yarns that I held together to make this tank top. And so this is all I have left of them together. I do have a good amount left over of one of the yarns, but it would look really weird to have it just by itself. It would be obvious, so I don't want to do that, and it's not enough to make it longer with the 2 held together, so it is just the length that it is, and either I adjust my perspective of how comfortable I am with a crop top, or I'm not going to wear it, and I can gift it or donate it or something, which is kind of more what I'm leaning towards, because I don't really want to frog it. I think it's a good piece. I think it's like I did a good job knitting it. There's no mistakes. I just don't know how much wear I will get out of it myself. But I'm gonna just stand up. I'll show it to you guys without my cardigan on. So like, even with high-waisted pants, which is what I'm wearing right now, my belly button hits right at kind of where my pant line hits. It's still a bit too cropped. It just kind of barely makes it to my belly button. And that's with like pulling it down a lot. If I like lift up my hands, it's gonna lift up the shirt. And then like as you're moving and you're working and you're walking and you're doing your daily life stuff, it's not going to stay low enough for my likes. So yeah, I mean, it's a nice pattern. I really do like the pattern. I will probably make the pattern again with yarn that I have more of, so I can lengthen it, because that's going to be a lot more comfortable for me. I like the fact that the neck is high. I like the fact that the straps are thick. I can wear a bra under this and I don't have to worry about my bra straps showing. It covers everything there. It comes up nice and high under my arms, so I'm not showing like the sides of my bra. So there's a lot of positives with this pattern. I just think it's a bit too cropped for my taste. And I knew that going in because the pattern is a cropped pattern. And I just thought I would have enough yarn to lengthen it a lot more than I actually could, so that's okay. And like the cardigan that I'm wearing with it today, I don't usually wear buttoned up because the buttons hit so low, but I wanted to wear this cardigan today for other reasons, which we'll get to later. So I'm buttoning it up to make me more comfortable wearing the tank top underneath, but that's okay. Well, we'll see how far I can get with it. You know what, it's, as I'm sitting here talking, it's not quite as itchy as it was when I initially put it on. I'm getting used to it, I guess. I'm adapting, so that's good. Okay, so enough about this finished object. I did, like, I don't know, if you guys want to hear more about the yarn, maybe I'll quickly actually go over the yarn that I used. I was getting the Twice Sheer Cheap seasonal boxes throughout this past year. And so one of the yarns, it was the The Springboks was the yarn that I got. That's kind of the purple one and sparkly one, and it's from the Sheepshire hand-dyed yarn. It's a pixie sock. Fingering weight is 75% superwash merino and 20% nylon, 5% stellina, and the colorway is crocus. And it's got like greens and, sorry, it's like, you know what? This is the one here. It's got greens and purples and whites and oranges and all sorts of fun colors in it and sparkle. And it's a really nice yarn. I like it. And then just the straight up green color, it's kind of like a mint green color, is my hand dyed yarn. I bought 80% BFL, 20% silk blend from Knit Picks a long time ago. I tried to dye my own yarn. I did dye my own yarn. I thought I could continue to dye yarn, but it doesn't agree with me. It hurts my back too much. So I could only I did 3 skeins. And the one was this one off of this mint green. I have 2 other ones that are more variegated. But yeah, so I paired them together and I think they look really nice together. Like I said, I like the end product. I like the colors. I just don't like the fit. So the second thing I wanted to show, which was a finished object in my last episode, but I didn't block it yet. And so I've blocked it in the meantime, and I just wanted to show it again, blocked. And that is the Oslo hat by Petite Knit. And this is my second hat that I've made of this exact same yarn. Of this hat as well. I gifted my first one to my sister, and I still had enough yarn that I wanted to make a second one for myself, so that's what I did. It's yarn that I was gifted as well. It is a combination of autumn and indigo fibers. They're lace weight mohair, which is 70% kid mohair and 30% silk in the colorway umber. And then the Valhalla Farm is the farmhouse sock, 100% merino, and it is in the colorway Tequila Sunrise. And so I paired the two together and knit another Oslo hat. I think I have, this is all that's left of the, what is this, the sock one, the farmhouse sock. That's all I have left. And I don't have any mohair left. I think I had like, I don't know, that much. And so I think I just chucked, I probably threw that one out. And so I'll put this on for you guys. It does have a bit more give than it did before I blocked it. And it still has just a tiny bit of a slouch to it. But I like it. It's comfortable. I've worn it lots. It's really nice and warm and toasty. I do get a little bit itchy right where the brim, like right where it hits on my forehead here, probably from the mohair, but I find that most toques that I've hand knit itch a little bit there, so it's nothing new. I wore it this morning. It was really cold this morning. It was, what was it, -1 degrees outside, I think, when I walked the kids, and there was like frost on rooftops and stuff, so perfect for my new toque. Okay, so I don't think I'll show those again. I'm pretty sure I'm done messing around with both of these things. All right, on to my works in progresses. Let's talk about my husband's first. So I have my husband, I'm making him a pullover sweater. It's the zipper sweater by Petite Knit for men. And I'm really close to being done. I would have been done by now if I didn't knit like 12 centimeters too much. I made it way too long. It was hitting so low, like getting really close to his knees. I just kept knitting and knitting, thinking that he's a tall guy, it needs to be long, and it was way too long. So I had to frog a bunch of it and then re-knit. So here we are. I don't remember what I showed last. I feel like last time, I think I had this sleeve done, and I think I was maybe done this sleeve as well. And so this sleeve I have on just like the tried on tubing because I was a little worried that this sleeve was a bit too short. What I had done was I had knit this sleeve, I had blocked it, and then I had my husband try it on, and it does fit. It comes down to his wrist well enough, but he's a little worried that it might shrink a bit more, or like when he's moving around it might rise up more than he wants it to. And so with this one I went all the way down to before I start the ribbing, and then I put it on try it on tubing, and what I want to do is block it once the whole sweater is done, block it before I finish that sleeve. And if I need to lengthen this sleeve, at least I haven't already bound off this sleeve as well. So then I'll just have to pick out the bind off and the ribbing and lengthen it a bit. It's just one sleeve that I have to do that to instead of two. Hopefully that's planning ahead well enough. But anyways, I'm at the very bottom now. I finished my ribbing at the bottom. It's all done. I'm just about to start the come on brain, you can do it. The Italian bind off or the tubular bind off or whatever. So the double knitting. I'm just gonna start the double knitting before I do the bind off there. So we're really close. I haven't put the zipper in yet, as you can see, but I do have the zipper. I'll show you. I went to our local fabric land store and I bought just like a nice black zipper with a cool little, I don't know, knobby thing. I could not find a zipper there that was not a separating zipper that was also nice. Like all their non-separating zippers were like really fragile looking and not bulky or like sturdy looking. And so I got the separating zipper one, and I'll just like, it'll probably be a little bit lower than where the actual end is. So I'm hoping that it won't matter anyways, because it should kind of be sewn in a little bit before that ending, and my husband probably won't ever go so far down that he accidentally unzips the whole thing. That's the hope. So I'm all ready to do it. Okay, so that is dupe. That's how far I am, and I'm using yarn from Knit Picks. It is Knit Picks Wool of the Andes Superwash Bulky Weight yarn, and it's in the color Stone Cobblestone Heather. So that's the yarn I'm using. And so this is how bad it was, how much, like, I just have to say this, how much length I accidentally added that I shouldn't have. You probably thought I was joking. I wasn't. I added this whole ball in stockinette length to my sweater before my husband tried it on. And I realized I went way too far. So like a whole ball of super bulky yarn before I realized that it was way too long. Anyways. Okay, I'm very excited. The next time I talk about this, it should be done. Knock on wood. Okay, my next work in progress I want to talk about is the one that I was doing, which was the combination of the June top and the Rigmortie. I'm actually going to put some footage up here of what I have done to it since the last time I recorded. I tried putting this video up to YouTube as a short, and I couldn't get it to work properly. So I never ended up doing it. It wasn't recognizing it as a short, even though it's under 30 seconds, but for some reason, it wouldn't let me do it. So here it is now. And here's what I've got so far. Hey, puppy. Puppy interruptions. Let's try that again. This is what I have so far for my new project with that yarn. I decided to make it into a different project because I wasn't happy with how it was turning out as the combination June top Rigmortie. It was looking really funny at the neckline, and I wasn't happy with how that was turning out as I was trying to make it work into a proper like finished object up there. So anyways, I decided, I ripped it all out and I started again, and I had some of this green Surrey left over from a different project that I had made, and this is Surrey from Bramble Ridge. So like the whole sweater is a Bramble Ridge sweater. It's all Bramble Ridge's yarn. The green is the Surrey that I bought for a different project. It's in the colorway Fairy Glen, I believe is the colorway. The gray is her DK weight Surrey, and then the colorful yarn here is her own hand spun yarn. So what I've done is I've been trying to make it so that the stripes are kind of even to make sure that I had enough green, because I had pretty much a skein of green left from the other project, but I didn't want to run out on the body and not have enough for the sleeve. So every time I did a section green and then my gray, colorful gray stripe, I went and did the same on the sleeve. I mean, here it wasn't separated. This was still, this wasn't separated for the arms yet, so it didn't really matter here. It started to matter here. So I did the green here, and then when I did this section, I came to the sleeves, I did it on the sleeves, and then I came back to the green. And then at this point I had to add in a new part of the skein of green, so I tried to blend it in. You can probably tell on this sleeve here, it does look a bit more of a dark green compared to the top of the sleeve there. I don't know how well that's coming through. Because, long story short, I had, well, maybe not, I had 3 skeins of the green that were parts of a skein. And I was combining them, so this is like 2 held together, and then I had to hold another one, so I had to separate it into 2 so I could hold the 2 together. Anyways, it's a bit darker. I hope that makes sense. So the lighter kind of green is up top and the darker is a bit lower, but that's okay. I think it looks okay because it's separated enough that it doesn't look like a line of color change. So anyways, I finished the green. The green is all done now. And so I'm just on the end here. I did decide to make this section longer at the bottom to make it so that I don't have to worry about buying another skein of the green. I'm just going to start going back to the gray here now. That's where I'm at. And do a couple of rows of the gray and then do the ribbing and the bind off on the body. And I'm hoping that will be long enough. And then I'll try it on and then decide what I want to do for the sleeves. So like right now, it's longer actually. It's longer than my crop top, so that's good. So having like, what would it be? Another 6-8 centimeters. That should be good, I hope. And then the sleeves are just coming to elbowish, just below my elbows right now. So I think I'll have enough to do, and I'm, okay, so for the sleeves also, I'm doing a balloon sleeve. I think I'll have enough of the gray and the hand woven one, hand spun, there we go, one, to make it all the way down before the ribbing and stuff, so I don't have to worry about the green on that either. And I know it's not going to match because there's green at the ribbing here, and I kind of wanted it to match at the bottom and the sleeves to have the green as the ribbing and the bind off, but I ran out and I'm not buying a whole nother skein just for a little bit of yarn and be stuck with another almost whole skein again. So I'm just making do and making the colorful and the gray section a bit longer so that it doesn't matter. And hopefully it won't look funky that way. And even if it does, oh well. So there we are. That's where I'm at. And I like it a lot better. I think it looks way better. I'm using the waffle sweater pattern by Knitting for Olive to make my sizes and stuff. I'm not doing the pattern itself, but I am just going off of it for like how much I cast on, for like how to do the rolled neck and when to split for sleeves and all that. And I believe, I'm pretty confident that that sweater is also a balloon sweater because I didn't see anywhere where there were decreases in the sleeves until the bottom, which is what I want to do. So it kind of matches nicely because it's a pretty airy, lightweight sweater. So I thought a balloon sweater would be fitting for it. Okay, so that's that. So those are my 2 main works in progresses. I've got 2 smaller ones that I'm working on that I actually haven't picked up for a little while, but I'll show them anyway. Okay, so I'm making the Barnstable shawl by Malabrigo dos Terrace. I think I said those things right. It's all garter stitch until about halfway, and then at the halfway mark you start doing a mosaic stitch. So it was my introduction into mosaic, and I wanted to make it for a gift for my massage therapist. And I'm this far right now, and it's looking pretty nice. The reason I haven't been working on it a ton is I don't actually care for the feel of the yarn, which is the Charisma. It's Charisma by Drops, and it's a superwash wool. And I wanted a superwash wool so that my massage therapist can put it in the washing machine and not have to worry. I didn't want her to have to hand wash this or anything. But it's a pretty, I don't know, it's just not soft. It's not really rustic, but it's not really soft, so I'm not enjoying it. But anyways, I'm doing 2 different colors. So this first color is colorway 5-3. It's like a nice kind of dark gray with a bit of, I don't know, marbling in it or something maybe. And then I'm going to do the mosaic in this more of a vibrant blue colorway in the same Drops Charisma, and it's the colorway color 60. I think they'll pair nicely together, so So yeah, I'm slowly working away at that, and I doubt it will be ready anytime soon. It's not a Christmas present, just to be clear. It's not a Christmas present. It's more of a, she is kind of semi-retiring present. Okay, and then the other work in progress I have is a sock, and I'm not very far on it. I started it with the yarn that I bought from Nelson, Burkana's yarn or wool store that's in Nelson, BC. I bought this over the summer, and I finally started making the sock with it, but then I realized as I was knitting it, it is a 6-ply superwash. 6-ply, and I think because it's a 6-ply, not a 4-ply, it's a bit more, like it's a bit thicker, and so I'm just using like the 2.25 millimeter needles to knit this up, and I'm kind of worried that it's going to be too tight and I might just have to redo it. So I kind of just paused there, and I haven't picked it up since because I don't know if I want to unravel it and restart it a bit with a bit of a bigger needle or not. I haven't decided yet, so it's just sitting there. But this is as far as I am. It's looking nice. The colors are nice. I'm just not happy with I think it's going to be too tight. Like there's not a lot of stretch here. So I think I have to rip it out and put it on bigger needles. I just haven't done it yet. So you might not see this again. And maybe the next time you do, it will be different because it'll be bigger needles. Okay, so those are all my works in progresses. Let's go on to my acquisitions. So the first acquisition I want to talk about is my Knitting for Olive silk yarn. Knitting for Olive pure silk yarn in the colorway 98101. I'm pretty sure. Oh, there we go. Deep Petroleum Blue. Colorway Deep Petroleum Blue. And I bought this because I watch a YouTube channel called Mealhism Tinks, and her name is Maya. She's on YouTube. She is a knitwear designer. She just started making her own patterns this year, and her first one was called the Skeeter Skirt, and I just loved the look of it. I've never been interested in knitting a skirt before, but her Skeeter Skirt looked amazing. I actually signed up to be a test knitter, but I didn't make the cut off for that, but that's okay. So I bought the pattern as soon as it came out, and I'm super excited to knit it, and I chose the Knitting for Olive pure silk to make it. I've already done a swatch for it. So this is my swatch. It is 2 different parts. I did half with just holding one single and the other half holding it double. The single is a bit see-through and the double is less so. I believe I used 2.75 on the single and a 3.5 needle on the double. And I'm leaning towards making the skirt in the double because I don't want to have to worry too much about it being see-through. She made one that was fingering weight. I believe it was the silk as well. And she wants to put a lining on it because it's a bit see-through. So I didn't really want to worry about a lining. So I think I'll go with the thicker version. That's the plan. So that's my next cast on. It's going to be this once one of my sweaters are done. And the wonderful thing about the skirt pattern, you guys, if you want to check it out, it has pockets, which is amazing. Everybody wants pockets in their skirts and dresses, and very few have them, so that's exciting. So the 2 things that I had to buy to go with it are just some elastic for the waistband, and I bought the fabric for the pockets. It's just some black fabric I picked up at, I think, Walmart. So it's all ready to go. Along with that order, when I was buying this I bought it directly from Knitting for Olive's website, which I've never done before. I got a discount because it was my first time, so I thought I would buy another set of yarn for a sweater project. So I bought their Knitting for Olive Merino, and this is in the colorway navy blue. It's a beautiful yarn. And I bought it because I want to make a sweater just like the one I'm wearing. The one I'm wearing is very old. I bought it at least, I want to say 25 years ago. It's a really old sweater. It has shrunk accidentally in the wash, so it's a bit tighter than it was when I bought it. but I love it. And I don't wear it very often because when it shrunk, I can't wear anything under it unless it's a tank top pretty much. So it's kind of a very specific time frame that I can wear it. It is one of my favorites though. It's comfortable. It has pockets, so they're little, but they're there. It has these beautiful buttons that are like shiny and this velvet strip that kind of goes along with the buttons. Let's see if I can show a button off. Anyways, I hope that showed up. So I thought, why not make one that will fit me a little bit better? Maybe the buttons can go a little higher. And yeah, I think the colors are very close. I think I look really good in this dark blue. So that's the plan with this yarn. And I bought, I don't know, 8 skeins or something like that. And then I went to Seattle with a friend of mine. And in Seattle, there are 2 yarn stores down at the pier that they have. That pier market, amazing market that they have, which we went to, and I basically just bought yarn when we were there. So the first one I'll show you. The first one is from Yarn Dragon, and I bought a sweater's quantity worth, I hope, of this beautiful, beautiful blue yarn. It is Americana, yeah, Americana yarn, and it's the colorway, I'm not going to say this right, but Adirondack, Adirondack. I'll show you actually on one of them. Oh my goodness, it's so nice. I'm not usually a blue person, but this is just like, it's got like green streaks sort of in it and stuff, and it's beautiful hand-dyed yarn, so I went with it. And the same YouTuber, Maya, she is also making, she has it in testing right now, a cardigan, and I want to make that with this probably. It's my first, it would be my first cable cardigan, so I kind of was tempted to try out for testing it, but she said it was just a, it wasn't a written instructions, it was just charts, and I'm not comfortable with that, so I decided to wait till the pattern releases, which I think is coming out in December the 20th. So that's what I think I'll make with this, and it's also got pockets, which is amazing. She's a really good, she thinks about a lot of things, like how your hand's going to go into the pocket, so the angle of the pocket, the shoulder seams, like, I love watching her YouTube channels. She's got great insight into design wear that way. So I'm super excited for that pattern release. It's the, I'm probably going to say it wrong, but my mind wants to say it's the Holomi jacket. Holomi? It's the word grandma in Korean, I believe is what she said. So that's the plans with this one. Then we went to the other yarn store called So Much Yarn? Yeah, So Much Yarn. And there I bought this color. And it is from Moonshine, hold on, Juniper. It's Juniper Moon Farm yarn called Moonshine Yarn. It is 40% alpaca, 40% wool, and 20% silk. And it's the color number 86. I don't know if it has a name for the colorway or if it's just a number, but I bought 5 of those as well. And okay, this is so silly. I'm like obsessed with Maya. She's also coming out with a pattern that is going to be maybe out for testing in a couple of weeks called, she named it, what did she call it again? It's something like, come on, brain, you can do it. I can't remember. I'll put it here. It has a name already though, but I really want to knit that too. So maybe this yarn. I might ask to, so the thing is, I really want to test that one as well, but I'm worried because she has pockets on that one as well up here, because it's supposed to be like a shacket. And I don't know if I'd be able to do those pockets comfortably on a test knit. I'd rather take my time and do it having owned the copy and not under a deadline. So, yeah, that's what maybe this yarn is for. I haven't fully decided yet, though, if I like that color for that shacket, but I think it would be a good one. And the last thing I got at All That Yarn is their like home colorway, I guess. I wasn't gonna get it because it's so bright and vibrant, but they had like a big bin of it, and it's like their house colorway. It's Shasta Market Flowers is the color name, 100% superwash merino, and it's so vibrant and beautiful. And I have no idea what I'm gonna do with it, but I just had to have it. So we'll see. Love this dog. Okay, so that is all of my acquisitions. It's a lot, but I had like a huge chunk of time between the last episode and this episode, with also a trip in there, so what do you do? The other thing I just wanted to mention is I am posting vlogmases, but they're not like full day vlogmases. I don't have the opportunity to do that. My work schedule is just too much, I guess, for me to be able to edit every day a video like of a full day's quantity. So what I'm doing is just posting a quick video of me opening it with some music behind it, just so that I can kind of participate, and hopefully you guys are enjoying that. I have 3 advents. One's a tea and 2 are yarn. A 4th one was supposed to be here as well from Twice Year Cheap, because I wanted to get their advent box as well, just to kind of round out the year. But it is stuck in LA because of the shipping issues that we're having in Canada from Canada Post being on strike. They couldn't ship it up because I would have to pay duty, and I think duty comes through Canada Post, and they're on strike right now. So I don't have it. That's okay. So I'm doing just the 3. And one that I'm not showing on my Vlogmases is actually a chocolate one, and I got that late in the season. I went to the mall to grab a bunch of Christmas stuff for my kids, and it was like December the 5th or the 6th or something like that, and I walked into Purdy's and they had chocolate advents there, and who knew? And so I get a little chocolate advent as well every day from Purdy's. And I had like 6 one day because of the day I bought it. I had to catch up, you know? Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!